Hi everyone. The syntax of do while loop is very similar to the while loop. The only thing is that we have a keyword which is do. Then we have the curly braces which defines the block of our code. And at the end, I'm going to have a while keyword along with the condition. We'll talk about how it is different from a while loop. But for now, you can just understand that in this case, or I can say in this kind of loop, we have one extra keyword which is do. And the while along with the condition is coming at the end. So in case of while loop, it was coming at the beginning, right? While and the condition. And then I had a block of code. In this case, I have the block of code first and then I'm getting while and the condition. And it is ending by a semicolon. Let's consider an example. So I'm taking a similar example once again. Let's say my integer I is 1 and then I have a do and then opening and closing curly brace which defines the body of my loop. And I'm again saying system.debug value of I is equal to the value of I. And then I'm doing I++ so that the value will increment. And then I'm checking while I is less than 6. Okay. So what I'm saying execute this code until this condition is true. So what will happen in this case? In this case, the compiler will come here and it will execute this code. Then it will come here and it will understand, okay, so this is the body of my loop. It will execute the body of the loop once. And once it has done the execution, then it will check, is the condition true? If yes, it will execute the same body of the code once again. Otherwise, it will exit. Okay. So what is the difference? We can say that in case of while loop, the compiler first checks the condition, then it is executing the code inside the body of the loop. Whereas in case of do while loop, the compiler first of all is executing the whole code which is inside the body of the loop. Then it is checking, is the condition true or false? So I can say that even if the condition is false, then also the code will be executed, or I can say the body of the loop will be executed at least once, correct? So we'll verify this as well, but for now, let's execute this code. Let's try to execute this code and let's see what happens. So if you see, I'm getting a similar output here. What is happening? Integer I was 1, it executed this body of the loop and it is saying value of I is equal to I. So value of I is equal to 1, okay? Then I is incremented by 1 and it checks, is I less than 6? So is value of I, which is 2 now because I is incremented, right? Less than 6. True, right? So 2 is less than 6. This is true, correct? Then what happens? The control go from here back to here and the body of the loop is executed once again. So I can say value of I is equal to 2. Then again I++ happened. The value of I becomes 3. Then it is checking, is I less than 6? Is 3 less than 6? Which is true, correct? Then what will happen? The control will go back here and it is executing the same lines of code once again. Or I can say it is going to execute the body of the loop once again. So this time we are getting value of I is equal to 3. Similarly, I incremented again. The value of I is 4 now. And again we are checking, is 4 less than 6? So is 4 less than 6? It is true, right? So this block is executed once again. So I can say this time I'm getting value of I is equal to 4, correct? Then I incremented once again. So I became 5. Then we are checking, is 5 less than 6? Is 5 less than 6? This is true, correct? So the block is executed once again. And this time I'm getting value of I is equal to I. And I is 5. So I'm getting value of I is equal to 5. Then I++ again happened. So value of I is 6. Then it is checking the condition, is I less than 6? Is 6 less than 6? This is false. Okay. So what will happen? It won't go back and it will continue executing the code ahead. So it won't go back and it won't execute the body of the loop once again. So this is how the values from I is equal to 1 to 5 are getting printed. Okay. Again, the execution of the code which is inside the body of the loop, it also depends on the condition that we have defined. So instead of 6, let's say if we do 11 here and we execute the whole code. Now if you see, value of I is coming from 1 to 10. This means that I started from 1, it executes this block and it is checking, is I less than 11? So 1 is less than 11. So it goes again, and then 2 is less than 11, it goes again, 3 is less than 11, it goes again, and it keeps on doing that until the value of I is 11, which is why the value of I is printed from 1 to 10. And as the value of I is 11, this condition becomes false and the compiler exits the loop. So this is how the do while loop is working. Now let's check out the difference between while loop and do while loop. So let's say that my initial value of I is not 1, it is 100. Okay. So what will happen if I execute this code? Pause the video and let me know your answer in the comments down below. Let's execute this. Now if you see, my code started executing from here and it executed this whole code, but I'm not getting any print statement, right? I'm not getting any print statement here, and my code execution ended as well. So I'm not getting any print statement here. What this means? This means that the compiler came here, then it checked, okay, we have an integer I and the value of I is 100. Then it came here and it checked, okay, we have a loop, but first of all, we need to check the condition of the loop, right? Is I less than 11 and the value of I is 100. So we checked, is 100 less than 11? This is false, right? And because this condition is false, the compiler is not going inside the loop, and the code execution, or I can say the execution of the code, is coming directly here after this. So this block of code, which is the body of the loop, is not executed even once because the condition is false. So first of all, we are checking the condition, then we are executing the body of the loop, right? And because this condition is false, the body of the loop is not even executed once. Now let's consider the same scenario in a do-while loop. So in this do-while loop, initially I was 1, but now I am saying the value of I is 100. Now let's see what will happen. Let's execute this code, and if you see, I am getting one print statement here, which is saying value of I is equal to 100. So what is happening? The compiler is coming here, so it is saying, okay, we have an integer I and the value of this I is 100. Then it is coming here, so it is checking, okay, now we have a loop, but it is a do-while loop, right? So what will happen? It says, because it's a do-while loop, first of all, I need to execute this whole body, then I will check the condition. So it comes here, it says, okay, we need to print value of I is equal to I. So it prints out value of I is equal to 100. Then it increments I. So the value of I is now 101 because it's incremented by 1. And then it comes here and it checks, is I less than 11? So is 101 is less than 11? True or false? This is false, right? And because this is false, it is not executing the body of the loop once again. It is just coming out of the loop. So what is the difference between the do-while loop and a while loop? The while loop is checking the condition at the start of the loop, right? So the while loop is checking the condition at the start of the loop, and it is executing the code only if the condition is true. So if the condition is true, then only the block of the loop is getting executed. Whereas the do-while loop is going to execute a block of code, or I can say it is going to execute the body of the loop once, then it is going to check the condition. And it will execute the body of the loop repeatedly only when the condition is true. But the body of the loop is executed at least once without checking the condition, because the condition is checked at the end. Okay. So this is the difference between while loop and do-while loop, which is why we are getting value of I is equal to 100 here. However, in case of while loop, we were not getting any print statement. So I hope this difference is clear to you. And we'll talk about, when we'll start writing like real world scenarios, when we'll discuss real world scenarios going forward and we'll start writing code, then we'll understand that, what are the scenarios where do while loop is preferable over while loop, or while loop is preferable over do while loop. But the concept is this, that, do while loop will execute the code at least once, then it will check the condition, and while loop will first check the condition and then it will execute the code. Now, before ending this video, I just want to give you a real world example of loop. Let's say you define a list which is numbers and you want to add 10 numbers to this list, right? This is the question. So how can you do that? Now you can say that, Rahul, I can use the add function and I can add a numbers 1 to 10 in this list. So you can say I defined a list of numbers is equal to new list of integer. So this list is defined right here. And then I use the add function to add the numbers 1 to 10. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm doing this up till 10. And then I'm displaying this list. Let's execute this code just to see the output once. So if you see, I'm getting this properly. So I'm having a list which has numbers 1 to 10. Okay. And in order to do this, what did you do? You wrote almost how many lines? You wrote almost 12 lines of code, right? So line number 1 to 10 here, and then there's one line here and one line here. So in order to add 10 numbers to this list, you have to write 10 lines of code. Now let's say that I change the question and I say that, I want you to create a list which has the numbers from 1 to 100. Okay. Then what will happen? So you have to write this add function 100 times, correct? Currently you're writing it 10 times in order to add 10 numbers. In order to add 100 numbers, you have to write it 100 times, right? In case I say that, add 1000 numbers to this list from 1 to 1000, then you will write it 1000 times. So it will increase the length of your code, correct? And you have to do more work. So what we can do, in order to reduce your work, we can use loops. So what we can do here, we can say, I have a list. So let me define this list once again. So list of integer numbers is equal to new list of integer, and I'm going to display this list as well. And in between this, I can simply say, let's say integer I is equal to 1. Okay, so I have an integer I which is 1, and I'm saying while I is less than 11, what to do? Just do numbers.add I, and then you can do I++. So if you see, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines of code. So here you had 12 lines of code, here you have 7 lines of code. So what I'm saying here, I'm saying define a new list of integer which is numbers, which is the same that we did right here as well. Then I'm saying define an integer I whose value is 1, and then I have a loop. It is checking, is 1 less than 11? True, right? If that's true, add the current value of I, which is 1, to the numbers list. So numbers list was initially empty, and now I'm saying this condition is true, that is 1 is less than 11. So what I did, I added I, which is 1, to this list. So I can say this list now has an element which is 1. Okay. Then I did I++. So the value of I is 2 now. The value of I is 2 now. Okay. So the loop ends and it is coming back right here. Then it is checking, is 2 less than 11? This is true, correct? So what it does, it executes the body of the loop once again, and it adds the number I to the list. So the value of number I is 2 now. So it adds 2 to the list. So the list has 1 initially, so it had 1, and then we added 2 as well. Then it again increments the value of I. So the value of I is 3 now. Then it again comes back, it checks, is 3 less than 11? This is correct. What will it do now? It will again add I to the numbers list. So I can say it is going to add 3 to the numbers list. The numbers list had 1, 2, and then it added 3. So this will continue. This will continue until I is less than 11, and I is incrementing again and again. So I became 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I can say 9, and then it becomes 10. And as it becomes 11, then it checks, is 11 less than 11, which is false, right? And then it is coming out of the loop and it is displaying the whole list. So if you see, what will happen? It will add the numbers from 1 to 10 in the list, because as it becomes 11, the code inside the loop is not getting executed, because in the initial condition itself we are checking if I is less than 11, then only execute this. So only the numbers from 1 to 10 are added to this list. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let me execute this code and let's see it in action. So if you see, again we have a list defined here, and the numbers in the list are from 1 to 10. So this is how useful it is that, instead of having 12 lines of code, you can just do it in 7 lines of code. But you can say that, Rahul, this is not very much optimization because I'm still writing 7 lines of code, right? But think about this. If you want to add 100 numbers to this list, then you will have 102 lines of code, right? So for 10 numbers, you had 10 lines and then 2 lines. So for 100 numbers, you will have 100 lines and then 2 more lines, correct? But in this case, if you want to add 100 numbers, you can just do 101. So this loop will execute 100 times until the value of I is less than 101. It will continue executing these lines of code. Let's execute this code once and it will be more clear to you. So if you see, this time I have more than 10 numbers in my list. So I have actually 100 numbers, but it's not displaying it right here when I'm printing the whole list because it's too many numbers, right? So what we can do, we can also display the size of the list just to confirm that it has 100 numbers. Okay, so what I can do, I can say system.debug numbers.size. We learned about this method in the previous tutorials, right? Let's execute this code. And if you see, in the first debug statement, I'm getting the whole list printed, which is having values from 1 to 100, but it is not displaying all the values, but that's fine. And if you see in the second debug statement, I'm getting the size of the list printed. So it is coming from here. And the size of the list is nothing but 100. So this means that these lines of code, they are executed 100 times from I is equal to 1 till I is equal to 100. And therefore, I was able to create a list of 100 numbers by just writing 7 lines of code instead of writing 102 lines of code. So my effort is reduced a lot, and this is where loops are very helpful. That's all for this video. In this video, we covered do while loop, and in the next video, we'll cover different type of for loops. So I hope you like this video. Let me know your feedback in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.